Steven Spielberg has worked with hundreds of actors, but there are 6 he keeps in his inner circle. Why them? It's not just about talent, it's something much deeper. What's the real secret behind this unwavering trust, and why has no one else ever taken their place? In this video, you'll discover the 6 actors who've left a permanent mark on Spielberg's career and what makes them irreplaceable in his eyes. Spoiler alert, it's not what you think. 1. Leonardo DiCaprio. When Spielberg called Leonardo DiCaprio for Catch Me If You Can, he didn't see just a pretty face from Titanic, he saw an actor with depth. DiCaprio wasn't just playing Frank Abagnale Jr., he was transforming, and Spielberg knew it. Here's the twist. It wasn't the charm that caught Spielberg's attention, it was the restraint. DiCaprio wasn't trying to steal the scene, he was making every moment feel real. Spielberg once said, "He's got a clock inside him. He never misses a beat." And that's what makes Leo stand out. He doesn't just play a character, he becomes it, bringing a quiet intensity that grabs you without you even realizing it. But here's the shocking part. DiCaprio's ability to control every moment isn't instinctive, it's deliberate. In Catch Me If You Can, he wasn't just a con man, he was a broken kid hiding behind a flawless suit. And Spielberg trusted him to carry that emotional weight quietly but powerfully through every frame. There was no drama, no overacting, just pure, raw honesty in every moment. DiCaprio earned Spielberg's trust with every scene. No ego, no second guessing, just clean, instinctive work. And that's why Spielberg says he'd work with Leo again in a heartbeat. DiCaprio doesn't just play characters, he gives them life. 2. Tom Hanks. When it comes to Steven Spielberg, Tom Hanks is more than just an actor. Their bond goes beyond professional. It's a deep, unspoken trust that's lasted for over 25 years. From Saving Private Ryan to Bridge of Spies, Hanks has been Spielberg's go-to for some of his most emotional, nuanced roles. But here's the twist. Spielberg doesn't direct Hanks with heavy notes or grand speeches. Instead, he gives him space, knowing Hanks will find the heart of the scene. On Saving Private Ryan, Spielberg reportedly gave minimal direction, trusting Hanks to pull the raw emotion from the moment. And he always delivers without noise, without ego. Hanks grounds every scene, stabilizing the chaos of Spielberg's stories with his quiet strength. That's why Spielberg has called him his emotional anchor. Hanks doesn't steal scenes, he makes them feel real. And that's the magic of their partnership. It's not about flashy performances, it's about bringing the story to life, one grounded, truthful moment at a time. 3. Daniel Day-Lewis. When Spielberg cast Daniel Day-Lewis as Abraham Lincoln, it wasn't just casting, it was an invocation. Day-Lewis doesn't just act, he transforms. There was no audition, no traditional rehearsal by the time he stepped onto set. Lincoln was already there. Spielberg didn't direct him, he witnessed him. Day-Lewis's portrayal was so precise, so meticulously crafted that Spielberg said, "He gave me the gift of time travel." His performance was filled with quiet tension and empathy. No grand speeches or theatrical gestures. Every word, every breath had weight. And Spielberg stepped back, allowing Day-Lewis to inhabit the role fully. But here's the kicker. Spielberg wasn't sure if the magic could be recaptured. Day-Lewis never returned to his orbit after Lincoln, not due to conflict, but because lightning doesn't strike twice. That one collaboration, that one singular performance was enough to cement Day-Lewis' place in Spielberg's inner circle. And Spielberg knows some actors are simply beyond direction. They're beyond words. 4. Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford isn't just Indiana Jones. Ford wasn't just an actor. He was the blueprint for the modern action hero. The guy who made every punch, every fall, every run feel real. Think about it. Raiders of the Lost Ark wasn't just a film, it was a test. Ford didn't just play an adventurer, he became one. Spielberg threw everything at him. Danger, stunts, physicality. Ford took it all. He didn't just act, he lived it. And that's exactly why Spielberg said, Harrison brings confidence into a room, and when the camera rolls, that confidence becomes myth. But here's the real kicker. Ford didn't need direction to become an icon. On the set of Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade, he insisted on doing his own stunt. No doubles, no special effects, just raw, pure trust in his own abilities. Spielberg wasn't worried, he knew Ford had it. No flinching, no hesitation. And that's why, after 4 Indiana Jones films, Spielberg says, if I ever direct another adventure film, there's only one guy I want in the lead. Ford doesn't steal the scene. He is the scene. And that's the magic. Spielberg saw in him. What Ford brought wasn't just action. It was the humanity behind the action. And for Spielberg, that kind of reliability isn't just rare, it's irreplaceable. 5. Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep isn't just an actress, she's an institution. But when Spielberg finally directed her in The Post, it wasn't just another casting choice, it was a masterstroke. He didn't direct Streep the way he would anyone else. With her, Spielberg knew less was more. Here's the shocking part. Streep didn't need to dominate the scene to own it. Spielberg said, "Directing Meryl is like conducting a symphony with only one instrument. Every glance, every pause, every breath was perfectly timed." Streep didn't overact. She underplayed. She made silence speak volumes, turning her stillness into the emotional center of the film. Spielberg wasn't just impressed with her performance, he was moved. He later admitted he felt nervous directing her, something he's never felt with other actors. Why? Because Streep's presence was so strong, it was almost like she was redefining the role as she went. Spielberg didn't need to direct her. He just had to let her work her magic. That's why, even after just one collaboration, Spielberg has said he would drop anything to work with her again. Streep doesn't just act, she transcends the role. For Spielberg, that's the mark of a true legend. 6. Robin Williams. Robin Williams didn't just play Peter Pan, he became Peter Pan. And in doing so, he made Spielberg believe in magic again. It wasn't just about the performance. You won't guess what Robin did for Spielberg behind the scenes. Spielberg was in the middle of one of the most difficult productions of his life, emotionally drained, overwhelmed, but everything changed the day Robin arrived. Here's the twist. It wasn't just Robin's talent that mattered. He was Spielberg's lifeline. Every night, after long, exhausting hours on set, Robin would call Spielberg, not to discuss the film, but to make him laugh. 15 minutes of pure improv to lift his spirits. No ego, no exhaustion, just pure joy. Robin didn't just bring humor to the set, he brought depth. His portrayal of Peter Pan wasn't a whimsical fantasy. It was a man weighed down by the burden of lost time, the ache of forgotten youth. Spielberg didn't just see it, he felt it. And that made all the difference. Robin's eyes weren't just bright, they glowed with the sadness of a man who'd grown up too fast. Have you ever wondered how one single moment can change everything? How one person can reignite a spark you thought was gone? If Robin hadn't stepped in, who knows where Spielberg's career would have gone? It wasn't just about making a movie, it was about saving a soul. And after Hook, Spielberg didn't just remember Robin as an actor, he remembered him as a friend who changed his life forever. These 6 actors didn't just appear in Spielberg's films, they became the soul of his stories. From DiCaprio's quiet intensity to Robin Williams' heart-wrenching joy, each one brought something irreplaceable to the screen. And the truth? Spielberg doesn't just cast talent, he casts gravity. So, which of these collaborations surprised you the most? Which actor do you think left the deepest mark on Spielberg's work? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe to follow the secrets of the biggest icons in history.